guys, I've been looking forward to this now for a few weeks after we locked up the deal on the 2 Super Snakes. It's funny because a lot of guys see JFK Auto, they see me, they see the team, and they think Corvette, even locally now, since we've launched the YouTube and all the social media, right off the bat, as soon as they see me talking about Corvettes. And it's funny because to start, especially for me in my career, it was Super Snakes. And my uncle even gave me the nickname Snakes. So I was super excited when I saw these cars. I just had that gut feeling that I knew we would probably wind up with both of them. And here we are with them. It took some time, about 2 months to really get the deal locked down. Props to Jeremy. I found them and he kind of stayed on the guy until we were able to put a deal together. And the owner was so excited to see both of these cars go together to the same place because they're matching CSM numbers. So every car that gets sent back to Shelby, Vegas, or wherever those upgrades are done, people usually like them the best when they're out at Vegas. These cars have matching CSM numbers. Both are 156. So the Grabber Blue is a 2013. That car is fully optioned. I don't know for certain, but I would say based on what I'm hearing and seeing that that car is probably one of one. If not, it's one of 3 to 5. There can't be many Super Snakes that have a glass roof that are a wide body in Grabber Blue. Stunning car. The GT500 in that car, stickers for 69 grand, and that's before you send it back to Shelby to get all the upgrades done. And we'll get into each car individually of all the specs that were done, but they're twins. The 2014 Sterling Gray has everything done the same way as the Grabber Blue car at Shelby Vegas. Only thing it doesn't have is the glass roof. Anybody who's been up on the market and has been seeing the Shelby cars just kind of rise in price as everything has, just to get a Shelby GT500 right now in either year, in the 13-14, because those are the best, most sought after years for the GT500 because they came right out of the box with 662 horsepower before all the upgrades. So those cars have been steadily climbing. Each one of these cars right now would probably cost you 180 to 190,000 to buy your GT500 low mileage car and then send it back to Vegas for all the upgrades. But we've probably had now close to 20 Super Snakes, if not more, throughout the years. And I will say hands down, without question, these two are the cleanest, best 2 Super Snakes that we've had. And we usually stay in that range of 2007 to 2014 because that is that classic Mustang look. It gives you that nostalgic feel to it. Also, after 2014, a lot of people may not know this, they started using a GT Premium as the base car for a Shelby Super Snake. So you started with the much cheaper car, where from 07 to 2014, you started with a GT500. So you get a better suspension, you get a better motor, just a better, not to say base model car, because I don't like saying that when it's a GT500, but your starter car was a lot better from 07 to 14 than it was 15 on. So I haven't had any Super Snakes past 2014. Really don't have a lot of interest in those cars because, again, they went to a GT Premium. Now you see the 2020s with the carbon fiber track packs, and those cars are awesome. We've had some. So you don't see a lot of Super Snakes being done now because the cars of 2020, a carbon fiber track pack car, 750 horse out of the box. So the Super Snake range really for those cars to hold up their values are 07 to 14. But even the people at Shelby, I've talked to them numerous times, the 13, 14 models, most sought after, highly collectible, because they're the best GT500s that were made. So if you look back from 07 to 14 and you're trying to buy just the GT500, the 13, 14 model do significantly more money than the 07 to the 12s. And we've had a bunch. We had a one of one 2011 convertible with 850 horse. They called it the Superman car. It was Kona blue, red stripes, had the Kenny Bell supercharger for 850 horse. And we wound up actually trading that car towards the ceramic matrix gray ZR1 that we have, the personal car of mine that you guys know I love. But I'll tell you what, these Super Snakes are just a different animal. They're a different beast. Anybody who's a Mustang fan the top of the food chain is definitely Shelby Super Snakes, and you just don't see them. And that was the conversation that I was having with our team, with my dad as well. I can go out if I want to buy a ZR1, especially a stick, and I can find one on the market at any time. I may have to pay more than I want to pay, but those are always on the market at any time. You want to try to find a 13 or a 14 Super Snake in a wide body, especially one with a glass roof. But even so, if it doesn't have it, go try to find a 13, 14 Super Snake wide body, low mileage car. There's none on the market. Very rarely do you see them on the market. And when you do, they're asking big money for them and they usually don't last. So to give one of these up, I know that I'm not going to be able to replace this car, maybe ever. And if I do, number one, you're going to be paying a fortune if you want to buy a GT500 and send it back to Shelby for the upgrades, or number two, if you even see it on the market. So to me, these cars, you know, they only cap out at 500 a year, and they never really reach that limit. So when you talk to the guys at Shelby, if you want to buy a GT500 right now, send it back to Vegas to get a Super Snake package done, you can, because there's 500 allotments per year that they will do a Super Snake package to, but they cap it at that. So the ZR1s, again, everybody kind of knows us for the Corvettes, 2,900 made, 2,953 to be exact. These cars, you're capped at 500 and they never really reach that, because a lot of guys now, if you want to go buy a GT500 and send it back to Shelby, the price to get those Super Snake packages are more than what it cost at that time. So there's about $90,000 in upgrades from Shelby and also from Fat House with the clutch in both of these cars. But to replicate that now, you're gonna be paying more than sticker, most likely, for both of these cars if you find just a GT500 car to start with. Then you're spending more for the upgrades than you were at the time that these were both done. So you're looking now at probably anywhere from 180 to 200 grand, and there's a year waiting list at the minimum. And I spoke to a gentleman who's a friend of mine today who was thinking about sending his back, and they told him it's at least a year, possibly 2 years. So people are sending their cars back to get done. I don't know what years they are. I could assure you they're probably not a lot of wide bodies, probably not a lot of 13, 14s. And that's not saying they're getting done Super Snake packages. You can get other cars sent back for Shelby upgrades as well. But anybody who is into Mustangs, into the GT500s, into the Super Snakes, you guys know, what these animals are. They're absolute monsters. I drove the blue one home the other day. I drove the gray one up here today. And the way that they handle, we had a Grabber Blue hole shot. So that was also 950 horsepower, wide body. That car was a little bit too radical to drive because of all the horsepower. These ones with 850, much more streetable, much more easy to handle. Obviously the power is there if you want it, but you can drive it like a normal GT500 as you want, but it's not going to go crazy on you. The gentleman that I sold that whole shot to, he said the same thing. He likes the car, but it's a little bit too radical. The emissions for the whole shots, you can't get those cars into every state because of some of the things that were done to the car. These two, no matter where you are, you can get those cars into your state and have no problems with emissions. But like I said, was super excited. We have the whole team here with us today, the whole production crew, because I was looking forward to showing you guys these Super Snakes. And it's funny, like I said, we've just been on such a run of Corvettes, and especially ZR1 Corvettes, but really where we made our name for modern muscle was with the Super Snake. So like I said, my dad's done the classic and muscle cars, but we always try to have something new, and that something was usually a Super Snake. And we've had, like I said, probably 20 throughout the years, 07 to 14, convertibles, coupes, cars that were one of ones, convertibles that were never supposed to be made. Believe the gentleman's name was Sean Highland, who did the Kona Blue convertible we had. Still on our website. I know the gentleman who has it, so if the price is right, he's looking to sell that. But these two were done straight at Vegas. Those seem to be the ones that hold the most value. Shelby Vegas is kind of notorious for Carroll Shelby, so people like when those cars are done there. These two they're twins to one another, right down to the CSM number in both. And it's just really awesome for us to present these cars to you guys as a pair, as matching CSM numbers. owner was, you know, super excited to see them go to the same place, that's kind of where they belong. And we're gonna get into showing you guys them each individually, but wanted to start off by giving you a quick look at both of them together, give you guys a little bit of an overview of our history with the Super Snakes, and we can't wait to show you the breakdown of each one of these cars, because you guys will be blown away by what is actually done at Shelby Vegas. And you know, there should be a lot when you're spending $180,000 all in on one of these cars.